Hey, I'm Alex, back from Board Game Co.
I'm Professor Meg.
And today we're reviewing Thunder Road Vendetta from Restoration Games. Thunder Road is a racing game and shooting and blowing things up kind of game. It is based off the original Thunder Road before Restoration Games came along and restored it. That is what they tend to do with their titles. And in this game, yeah, I came up with myself. I actually am responsible for the name of the company. I get no royalties at all. And in case you're watching this, it's definitely totally not true. Just on the off chance someone's upset that I said that. But anyways, in this game, you're going to be racing along Thunder Road over here. Thunder Road is going to initially comprise of 3 tiles, 1, 2, and 3. But as you race off the edge, you're going to be adding more tiles until eventually in a 2-player game, there's a set number of tiles, or someone dies first. And in a 3 or more player game, once a player is eliminated, that's going to trigger the end of the game. First person to move off the last tile at that point wins the game. In the game, you're going to be moving with your 3 vehicles over here. It's worth noting at this point that we are reviewing the retail version of the game. If you back the crowdfunding version, there's a whole bunch of extras and more vehicles and bling and all these things. That's not what we've played. That's not what we're reviewing. We are just covering the retail version of the game. But in the game, you're going to have your 3 vehicles, and every single round, you're going to go ahead and roll your dice, and then use your dice to assign to these dice will be assigned to each of your different size vehicles, and then 1 dice to your command module. So for example, for my first turn, I'll go ahead and move my small vehicle 4 spots, starting from the beginning of the map. If you want to just pick any spot,
sure.
We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, you want out? No, I don't want to go on the hazard. Okay, I don't want to go on the hazard.
You can make that. Explain it? Not yet.
You can make that choice in your turn.
Okay,
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Hazards are a thing over there. Speaking of which, Meg, if you want to roll your dice and assign a die over there. So basically, you're rolling your dice, you're assigning them, taking turns back and forth, and using them to assign different vehicles moving different spots, and then 1 die to your command module, as I mentioned already, which we'll walk through that. So Meg's doing a 3, she's going 1, 2, you can go on top of me. Oh, no, 1, 2, 3. There you go. 1, 2, 3 over there. And then Meg's moved over there. Now, that's a basic turn.
But
you're just
I would
moving.
be able to shoot you from there.
Oh, you should. No, well, sort of, no.
Oh, true.
First turn of the game, there's no shooting at all. But
it's too soon.
In theory, yes. We'll walk you through all the stuff that happens. But that's a basic move. Very straightforward. Nothing crazy happened. There's no knocking and talking vehicles, no moving into hazards. Let's take it up a notch and start showing you a bit more how things can play out. So, I'm going to go ahead and take my next die over here. And I have a lowly 1. Now, I'm going to use my 5 over here. What do I want to use my 1 for? I don't want to use it for the airstrike. Is not useful the first turn. Repairing and drifting. Drifting is not, you can't use drift. I could use for nitro, but honestly, I think I'm just going to play it safe over here. I'm going to take my medium vehicle and just move it directly. Just let's do it 1 behind your large vehicle.
Right here?
Nope. Well, 1 backwards. There we go. 1. Boom. It's on the board. Yep. Oh, okay. And then to you, your turn.
Okay. Well, why not take this 6 and pair it with this 3?
Now, Meg's using her command module. Once per round, you can assign a command module die to go ahead and do something else. In this case, Meg's using nitro, which means she can take a 1 to a 3 and add it to her roll, and she's moving 9 spaces across the board for a very efficient first move. I would love to demolish your vehicle, but I don't think I can. So what I think I am going to try to do instead is, can I make this work? No, I don't know what I want to do. Now, one thing I should note, we haven't been doing this. We've been teaching this terribly. Yeah. There is a road die every round that's going to be rolled, and that road die would drastically change. If all your movement stays on the road, then you're going to be able to move that many spaces forward. So we're going to retrospect that. 1, 2, 3, and then mine goes 1, 2, 3, and yours goes up another 1, 2, 3.
Well, technically, I would have come in later and not been able to go around.
So yeah, take your last turn again.
All right. Well, I guess having things being a little bit more blocked off at this point with how the bonus worked out, let's just go for something a little risky.
So go ahead.
We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ooh. Okay.
And let's see what happens.
So we're about to see what a hazard happens right now. We do have our nitro in play, but depending what happens, go ahead and flip that over.
All right.
And we have a hazard. Now, hazards, is that a mine? That's a mine. You're going to go ahead and take a point of damage over there.
Which would be... yeah, I was going to say, like, there we go. So to take damage, it goes down here underneath the correct card.
Yep. And that's going to flip that over.
Yep. And
we have a point of damage, and
great.
It is blast off. Okay. So Meg's going to go ahead and roll these 2 dice right now, which is going to be a good example of a whole lot of things that can happen on this turn. Because she took damage, she's not going to be able to move further, and she's going to move 2. She's going to orient it to the vehicle. She's going to move 2 backwards. Okay. She's going to shoot backwards. The mine kind of blasts her car backwards.
All right.
That's a little bit of a cinematic thing that's going to happen right there, where she now has a point of damage on her vehicle, and she went backwards. The problem with hazards is hazards are sometimes nothing. Other times they're small little discomforts, and other times they're big discomforts.
Yeah, for example, the way this die is shaped, I could have gone right off.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to try to actually hit Meg with my next vehicle over here. I'm going to use this 6 over here. I'm going to drop the 6 into my large vehicle, and I will use that. Ooh, do I want to be nice or...
Yeah. I think
because we, well, I actually will. Because we have a 3 road die right now, I'm actually going to go ahead and assign this over here and assign this to drift. So that means drift action ignores the first slam your car would have this turn. So I'm going to drive straight up behind you, Meg, trying to get past you. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, go past it. 5, 6, there we go. 7, 8, 9.
8, 9?
Well, because of this
Okay.
over here. So I assigned a 6 to my movement. I added the +3 for the road, and I used drift to ignore the first car I would otherwise hit, because I could have hit Meg, but I want to take advantage of the road bonus to be able to just get further down the road. There is an advantage when a big car hits a small car, which we'll go through one more round. We'll show you one more round of play. You'll see a few more things, including shooting, and then we will go to the review. So that's oh wait, you have one more.
Yeah,
die.
I do. I have my medium car, so we will.
We may still see a car get stomped on.
Yeah, I think I will try. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's my best bet. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4.
So right about now, Meg just jumped on top of my car. She hit my car, she rammed it. She's going to roll these 2 dice over here and see basically how things move. There's always a small advantage to the car that's on top.
Ooh.
Although in this case, not as much. So now the way...
No.
Yeah, you're having a great game. You're having a great game. So, in general, when you move into a collision, the way it works is that this die over here shows you which car is going to be moved. Now, 2 of the faces show the top car, but 4 of the faces show the bottom car. Basically, bottom cars are usually safer, but occasionally the top car is the one that's going to get moved. In this case, it's being moved 1 backwards to the right, which, yes, is another hazard. Now, if Meg were in a larger vehicle, you got nothing there.
Some of them are just nothing.
The larger vehicle always has a chance of re-rolling the dice if they don't like them. So the larger vehicle could be like, I have more control, I'm ramming into a smaller vehicle, I have a bit more agency, still luck, but some control over that luck. And the smaller vehicle less so. In this case, Meg did go backwards, but 1 space. We'll do one more round just so we can go ahead and you can go ahead and go first.
Right.
And we will show you how shooting works. So we're going to roll the dice.
Hopefully.
We're going to roll the road dice. We have only a 1 on the road die this turn. And there we go. And you can go ahead and go first. Road die is only 1. 1 small damage. So, in general, the movement of the board is going to be moving on the road. We get the road die benefit if all your turn is on the road. Although the road die benefit itself can be used to move off-road. Then you have sand, which is the same 1 per space, but it won't make a difference. It won't help with the road die. And then you have mud, which is going to be 2 per space.
I'm going to use this little 1.
Okay.
And do this.
That is a reasonable move. Go ahead and roll these 2 dice.
Here's hoping. So now I have a reroll because I'm larger than you.
And this is a very good move for you overall. The
Bottom
smaller
car
car shifts backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's me.
Let's do it, because now it'll bring you into this.
It'll pop me into the hazard. So Meg going ahead. She's not going to re-roll.
Mud.
What is it?
Mud.
Okay, mud. Not the worst. Not the worst.
All right.
Okay. It's going to be my turn. Let's see what I want to do as far as just taking things out. I do kind of want to deal with your... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just move. I have a 3, so I'm going to go my 3 into my large vehicle, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go on top of you, ramming into you.
My car.
Your car. I'm going to try to ram it, hoping that I won't be able to re-roll.
Wait, I'm blue.
That is definitely not what I want to do. That is definitely not what I want to do.
I was like, my car. Wait, that is my car.
Nope. That is not at all what I want to do. What I can do instead, I could ram you with small cars, but none of that's what I want to do right now. And I could try to... You have a 5, 5, and a 6 there. That's a lot of stuff I don't want to deal with. I will try ramming you with a medium car and hope for the best.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. We're going to hope for the best. We're going to roll. Now, you do have the opportunity to re-roll. And right now, your car is moving up 1 to the right. Do you want that or not?
Is that this far?
Yep. Question.
Sure.
Great. And now
Oh, no.
I was about to.
Oh, no.
About to.
Do it again.
Okay.
Let's see.
What Meg caught is that if she ends her turn right in front of me, I do get to shoot her. So she wants me to re-roll over here. And you are once again going up 1 to the right. The exact same. That was a re-roll.
No, the way you roll is not.
It's terrible. It's always the worst when that happens. I'm gonna go ahead and roll right now. Now, whenever the vehicles end 1 space in front of you, you can go ahead in your front arc. You can go roll this die. And right now, I missed. Wait, I should re-roll. You're right. My rolls are not great. You're right. No. So the dice over here, basically, there's going to be medium, small, medium, and then large over here, and then any. Now, the way this works over here, there's basically 4 chances of hitting a large vehicle, 3 chances of hitting a medium vehicle, and 2 chances of hitting a small vehicle. Small vehicles are not as good at the ramming, but they are better at evading fire, so there's a little bit of a trade-off over there. That's basically, you can go take you take a turn. We could figure out, maybe we'll do 1 or 2 more things, but you've kind of seen, oh, there's one more thing I want to show them. The helicopter.
Yeah, actually.
Do you want to helicopter me?
Hold on.
Yeah. Basically, the basic arc of the game, you've kind of seen most of what you're going to encounter in this game at this point, other than the actual abilities on damage and hazards and the various things you'll see there. As far as the 4 abilities you have over here, you've seen Nitro, you've seen Drift. Repair is going to be, you have to spend a 6 and a 6 only, but that's how you remove a point of damage from a vehicle, because otherwise those vehicles are stranded. The helicopter is going to involve something that can go anywhere on the board and shoot however it wants. And then lastly, whenever you do have a vehicle that's out of commission, which sometimes can be temporary, sometimes permanent, at that point, extra dice can instead be assigned as a +1 coast on other vehicles. You can only do it if vehicles are out of commission, but basically once your vehicles are slowly wounded, the remaining vehicles get a bit stronger, just a little bit movement forward. Meg's going to wander up behind me over there and then shoot me.
And I also did an airstrike here.
Oh, wait. Over here, you'd be shooting yourself. You'd have to move behind me.
Well, no. Can't I just not shoot and place my helicopter?
If you want to, yeah, sure.
Right, because then it can show how if you block someone off as well.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're shooting me.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see. I mean, it's a little car hitting a big car.
Ooh, a medium. Missed it, unfortunately. And then the helicopter right now, Meg's choosing not to position it so she can shoot. If she positions it behind a vehicle, then it can shoot. But in front of a vehicle, it doesn't block movement per se, but you can't end on a helicopter space, so that gives you some degree of limited movement in the game. That's basically Thunder Road Vendetta. Again, a few small details.
Well, so something I was kind of setting up, Alex, is that if you're ever pushed into a helicopter, you die.
Oh,
so if I came up behind you and kicked you there,
do you want to try it? Do you want to try it? Let's go ahead and do it. Let me take one move. I didn't realize what you were going for. That's not bad. So let me take one move with my vehicle.
It might not work, but it might.
I'll move my large vehicle to run ahead in the game, and I'll assign my 3 for Nitro, so I can go up 7, and I have a road die over here. Right. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I don't want to go off the road. 4.
You might not.
5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just gonna do that.
If you stayed on that.
Oh, 7. I can only do 7. I'm gonna stick there. It is what it is. Okay, that's my turn. And then to you.
And then I will just do this and go 1, 2, 3, 4.
And it's a larger vehicle, so when you roll your directional.
Let's see if I can push you into it. Wait, this is wrong.
Oh, that is definitely wrong. And it's a smaller vehicle to the top left, which would trigger a cascading change of crashes, or...
No, I'll try. Let's go for that helicopter.
And that's going to be top right, smaller vehicle. Boom. And blow me up right there. Basically, I just blew up. That's what happened there.
Helicopters will automatically kill you.
Yeah. You can't walk into a helicopter in the turn. That is basically it, and I am dead. I'm out of that. No, not me. That one vehicle was out of the game. That's basically the game. That's basically how the game plays. It's a bunch of rolling dice, trying to take advantage of the board state, trying to shoot people, maneuver your helicopters, maneuver your vehicles, crash into each other, take advantage of the hazards, watch the evolving map terrain, and do so until one player is eliminated, at which point whichever player crosses the board first after that wins the game. Which brings us to the review. Starting off with review is what we like, don't like, and Casila's not liking. Starting off with what we like. Which, Meg, what do you like about the game?
One thing that I really like about this game, that I bring up with a lot of games that do this, but it's the heads-up type of game. Everyone's engaged during everyone else's turns, that I do really enjoy games that can keep everyone entertained even when it's not your turn, especially with the, not even just them attacking you, but people attacking each other is also fun, and just the crazy things that can happen. I think it's really engaging, and it's good for the entire group the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I like is, sort of to what you're saying, the cinematic experience. This game does give you a cinematic experience where crazy things happen. You jump on top of a car, you bump it forward, things don't work out your way, and you end up pushing it on that cascading effect of cars. You can see Meg hitting that mine, jumping back 2 spaces, just blowing up. Everything's just sheer chaos, and this is a game, for the very nature of it, it just tells a story as you're playing through it, just because of all the types of things that happen.
Another thing that I really like is that the board continues to fill itself, so it's not really about trying to get to an actual finish line, it's about how you're playing with other players. That as long as everyone is still in it, the board is just going to continue to reset itself.
Which reminds me of one thing we forgot to say, which is when you get to the new tile, there's always only 3 tiles in play. When you get to a new tile, anyone who's on the last tile instantly dies.
Yeah.
And that does happen.
But the new tiles reset with all new hazards, so hazards are constantly being put into play, and it's not really about like racing to a finish line, it's about trying to take out the other players, and it really forces you to interact with other players, because you're really not trying to actually get to that finish line until other people are knocked out.
Yeah, and for me, I'd say that overall, in addition to the cinematic experience, there's a lot of just fun moments of the crazy things that are happening. Not just from a general keeping everyone involved, but from the sense of you are making these interesting choices of, do I just race for the finish line, which is safe and easy, or well, not actually safe and easy, because helicopters will always be going after you, or do I focus on just trying to destroy the other players? And that trade-off is a big thing, by the way, because if you are pretty far ahead, you may find that all the other players are sending their helicopters after you.
Yes.
It's a little riskier, but if you sit there and focus on just taking everyone else out, you may well be the last person left standing, because meanwhile they were targeting Joe, who was racing towards the finish line, and now you have 3 vehicles and you're stomping on people and going for those plays. Like even that play you showed there where you risked like the statistical odds to get an insta-kill, that kind of thing will happen in the game, so it gives you that trade-off of, is this a racing game or is it a I try to kill my friends game? It has a little bit of both mixed into the DNA. Anything else you like, or should we move on to what we don't like?
I'm ready to move on.
As far as what we don't like, I guess, do you want to start first, should I?
Sure. I think you kind of actually mentioned it a little bit, but I think something that can happen with this game is it can very much turn into people trying to tell you what to do, because you can have it kind of happen that you really need to take certain people out and some people can get ahead, and because everyone's working toward trying to get that one player out first before someone can get to the finish line, it can kind of turn into a people turning against other people and teaming up. But depending on how the game goes, I think it can be a little bit tricky with, feeling like you're actually making choices for your own agency versus what needs to be done to take out certain players.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have a different spin on it, but I agree with the general concept where effectively there are times you need to do things. There are times where if somebody's zipping ahead and you're all towards the back, unless you want to be shot off the edge, you do want to send your helicopters after that person, which does feel like I have to do that thing. Instead of having a nice choice in my command module, well, this person's over here, so let's just go ahead and take them out, which is less fun for everyone. It's less fun for the person who's zipping ahead because they're like, I spent all this time running ahead and now there's just 4 helicopters after me. But it's also less, well, 3 helicopters. It's also less fun for the players who are forced to do that, where they're like, okay, well, I have to just take out that person who's too far ahead, otherwise we're going to die. So the whole helicopter thing, it does a good job in a weird way. One problem you can have with racing games is if somebody's too far ahead. And the helicopters in this game do a good job of making sure that's never really a threat because you can just kill that person. But it also, in a weird way, stops this from being a racing game and puts it more into a let's just blow everyone up kind of game, where racing is a part of it and it can result in someone winning, but it's also just as much of this weird... It's a weird situation as far as how the game handles that, and the fixes one thing, but causes its own problems with it. Additionally, on top of that, I'll say that there's just a lot of dice rolling and a lot of luck. It does result in chaotic, fun moments. It absolutely does. But it also results in, similar to what you're saying, a lack of agency. This isn't a game where if I win it, I feel like I won, and it's not a game where if I lost it, I feel like I lost. This is a game where I sit down to play it because I'm like, let's do fun things and blow people up, and I might be able to like throw Meg's car off the edge or knock Akiva's car into another car and into a hazard. Those will be fun moments. Will I win? Don't know, don't care. Will I lose? Don't know, don't care. I'm just here for the experience, not for any strategic sense of winning, because as much as there is strategy in your choices, there's also so much chaos and luck that just feels all over the place.
And for me, along that same line, I felt the movement being restricted to only dice rolls was also very difficult. That depending on just how you roll, if you're someone that rolls poorly, you can just be behind, and you really have nothing that you can really do that much in the game. You do have the nitro, which you can only use a 1 to 3, so at most you can boost it by 3. And I think that can just be really tricky if you have a couple rounds where you roll poorly and roll very low. Like, you just might have less fun. Yeah,
and the mitigation around a low die roll is effectively you'll be targeted less. And while that's true, it still just means your experience as a player is still less fun. You're less involved, you're less doing things. Sure, people aren't trying to kill you as much. In a weird way, since that's the fun of the game, that's also less fun. So there's definitely a luck to the dice rolls and not as much mitigation as I would like. As far as final thoughts on this one, where are you overall?
So for me, I am not someone who enjoys racing games in general. I cannot think of many, if any, racing games that I really lean toward. So for me, this isn't a genre that I would be excited by anyway. And kind of like what you said, Alex, where if you win, you don't feel like you won, and if you lose, you don't really feel like you lost. For me, that's not a game I want to invest that much time into. So for me, I'm rating this at a 3. It is this is going purely by Alex's rating scale, which is in the description down below. But it has a breakdown of the different reasons why. And for me, honestly, for this one, if I had friends over that wanted to play it, if they asked to play it, I would try to play something different before playing this. I would still play it, and I think I would still have a fun time, but I think I would try to play something different first. Because for me, with it being so chaotic, and just kind of moving through the motions of doing this and doing that without much agency, on top of the theme for me, which is just kind of plain and cars. I don't know, there isn't much that pulled me in.
For me, I'm coming in slightly higher. It's a 3.5 out of 5 for me. This is one of those games that the actual experience is very weird for me, because when I play this game, I do want to take another turn. I do want to keep playing. And then when I get to the end of the game, I feel like the experience I just had was anticlimactic. So it's a weird one for me where every time I sit down, even right now, I would keep rolling dice and keep doing this because there is something fun about rolling the dice, assigning them, trying to blow people up, race ahead. I do have fun taking that next turn, but every time I finish, I'm like, that didn't feel... And again, win or lose, it doesn't really matter. Like, the game experience itself, I'm like, this is fun, and then I get to the end and I'm like, I wish I played something else where I felt like it mattered more. And so it is a slightly weird feeling for me overall. I think I'm coming in at a 3.5 out of 5. I do wonder if more expansions or content could mix it up for me. One of the pros for this game that I didn't talk about is how accessible it is, how easy it is to teach and play. You can get up and running really, really quickly. And so it's great for gateway gamers in that sense. I do agree with you as well that racing games tend to not blow me away. I tend to have fun with them, but they aren't ones I seek out. But this is still coming in a little under other racing games that I've enjoyed more. Something about the experience, I just feel like it's more about the chaos of the play than actually anything outside of that. As far as other recommendations, as far as game recommendations, for me, I'm going to go ahead and give Death Roads All-Stars. If you do like this game and you want something similar with, I think, a bit more strategy to it, Death Roads All-Stars is another similar blow things up racing game, also with an infinite board in a different way that is worth checking out.
And for me, I'm going to suggest Heat. I know Heat has been talked about a lot. You've probably already heard about it anyway. But I think Heat does have that bit of strategy where you can kind of play into a lot of the choices that you're trying to do. And it gives you a bit more in your card to operate with. So,
in any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
I'm Professor Meg.
And have a good one.
Bye.